Imagine a piece of music so demanding it terrifies even the bravest sopranos. This is Der Hölle Rache, the Queen of the Night Aria from Mozart's The Magic Flute, opera's ultimate test of skill and nerve. For over 2 centuries, this aria has struck fear and awe into singers and audiences alike with its dizzying high notes and relentless pace. In just 3 minutes, it pushes the human voice to its limits, combining technical complexity, emotional intensity, and sheer power. Every performance is a high-wire act, one mistake, and the illusion shatters. Join us as we explore why this aria is both the most terrifying and exhilarating moment in all of opera. Der Hölle Rache casts a long, intimidating shadow over opera. For sopranos, it's the ultimate test, a crucible of technique and emotion, where every note is scrutinized and every high F is legendary. Mozart's masterpiece is more than music, it's a weapon, a pure expression of rage and power, forged in fire and fury, leaving audiences breathless. Each performance is a battle, demanding not just vocal brilliance but raw, unfiltered passion. The aria's legacy endures, challenging and inspiring singers and listeners alike. Before we dive into the technical fireworks of this aria, we must first understand its emotional core. Der Hölle Rache is not just a showcase of vocal agility, it's the dramatic fulcrum of Mozart's The Magic Flute. Here, the Queen of the Night unleashes her fury, upending the opera's moral landscape and testing Tamino and Pamina's courage. Mozart lulls us with her sorrow, only to shock us with her rage, making this aria unforgettable. In the opera's second act, everything is turned upside down. Sarastro, once thought a villain, is revealed as Pamina's protector, while her mother, the Queen of the Night, is exposed as a manipulative force of chaos and vengeance. In a moment of supreme cruelty, the Queen thrusts a dagger into Pamina's hand, demanding she murder Sarastro or be cursed forever. This ultimate betrayal ignites the opera's most explosive aria. The Queen of the Night's aria erupts with fury. The vengeance of hell boils in my heart. This is no empty threat. Her hatred is absolute, her demand for murder chilling. Mozart sets this moment in D minor, a key of tragedy and despair, making us feel the Queen's rage and terror in every note. The music doesn't just accompany her words, it reveals a soul consumed by vengeance. The aria erupts without warning. No gentle prelude, just a violent chord and the Queen's furious accusation. Mozart thrusts us straight into the confrontation, mirroring the Queen's explosive entrance and leaving the audience as breathless as Pamina. The Queen's first lines are spat out, each syllable sharp and percussive, her rage unmistakable. Suddenly the music demands a leap into coloratura, rapid, intricate runs that test the soprano's agility and control. The singer must balance raw emotion with technical mastery, embodying a character losing control while maintaining absolute vocal precision. This paradox is the heart of the aria's challenge, to sound both unhinged and flawless, right from the first note. The first coloratura passage bolts upward, a furious swirling run that mirrors the Queen's rage. Each note must be clear and precise, even as the tempo races ahead. The orchestra's relentless drive leaves no room for error. The singer must sprint through this musical obstacle course. Years of training are required to make these runs sound effortless, even as they push the singer to her limits. Mozart repeats these passages, each time intensifying the fury and demanding renewed fire and precision. There's no respite, just a relentless cycle of technical and emotional extremes. These coloratura fireworks aren't just for show. They're the Queen's unraveling mind, set to music. The wild, spiraling runs reflect her psychological collapse, her obsession with vengeance overtaking reason. The singer's struggle with the music becomes the character's struggle with sanity. The technical difficulty fuels the drama, making the Queen's madness audible and visceral. A great performance fuses the physical strain with emotional intensity, so the music feels like the only possible outlet for her rage. From the start, the aria establishes the queen as both vengeful and dangerously unstable. Just as the singer conquers the coloratura, Mozart arms the queen with a new weapon-murderous staccato. These short, sharp notes are no longer playful, they're vocal daggers, each one a pointed threat. The staccato passages echo the physical dagger in the plot, transforming the queen's voice into a weapon. The contrast between the wild runs and the cold, calculated staccato reveals the queen's multifaceted villainy. Here, her rage is not just chaotic but chillingly controlled. Mozart's genius is in this contrast: madness and precision, chaos and cruelty, all in a few bars. The queen becomes a truly terrifying antagonist. Staccato passages demand explosive power and pinpoint control, especially on repeated high Cs. The singer must deliver each note as a clean, cutting attack, never letting the sound blur or strain. Switching between fluid runs and percussive staccato is like shifting from a gymnast's grace to a martial artist's punch, without pause. The physical effort is immense, but it must remain invisible, channeled into the queen's fury. The singer's endurance and control become the embodiment of the queen's terrifying willpower. The aria's technical demands are inseparable from its dramatic impact. The aria's tessitura is relentlessly high, forcing the soprano to sustain brilliance and power at the top of her range. There's no rest, she must sprint vocally from start to finish, risking fatigue with every phrase. This high placement gives the queen's voice an inhuman, blazing intensity, perfectly matching her rage. Mozart keeps the tension sky high, never allowing the drama to settle. The true test isn't just the famous high notes but maintaining quality and expression throughout this punishing range. Only the most skilled and enduring singers can meet the aria's demands and bring the queen's fury to life. And here again, the technique is utterly inseparable from the emotion of the character. The percussive, almost barking quality of the staccato notes is not just a musical effect, it imitates the sound of the queen's cruel, cackling laughter. As she spits out these high, sharp notes, we can almost hear her mocking her daughter's fear and reveling in her own power. It is the audible manifestation of her boundless contempt for Sarastro, for Pamina's hesitation, and for the entire world of reason and light that she seeks to destroy. It is the sound of pure, unadulterated schadenfreude, a wicked glee in the face of another's suffering. This makes the aria even more psychologically terrifying. The queen is not just angry, she is enjoying her anger. She is delighting in her own cruelty. The staccato passages give her a sense of deranged joy, a terrifying glimpse into a mind that finds pleasure in destruction. For the soprano, this means she cannot just sing the notes accurately, she must imbue them with this sense of malicious glee. Her performance has to communicate that the queen is not simply a tragic figure driven to rage, but a true villain who savors her own wickedness, making her a far more complex and frightening character. This combination of different vocal challenges, the agile coloratura, the stabbing staccato, and the sustained high tessitura, paints a complete picture of her fury. The coloratura shows her rage spiraling out of control, the staccato shows her focusing that rage into a sharp weapon, and the high tessitura gives it all a terrifying, brilliant intensity. Mozart uses every tool at his disposal to explore the different facets of her anger. It is a masterful character study accomplished entirely through the medium of music, demonstrating his profound understanding of human psychology and his unparalleled ability to translate it into sound. Ultimately, the heart of the aria's fury lies in this section. This is where the queen's rage becomes most tangible and most threatening. The staccato notes and the immense power required to sing them represent the core of her character, violent, precise, and utterly relentless. After navigating the chaotic storm of the opening runs, the singer must now become a focused instrument of terror, delivering these vocal blows with a chilling combination of power and control. It is a passage that demands everything, and it sets the stage for the final, legendary assault that is still to come. After navigating the storms of coloratura and staccato, we reach the final ascent, the Mount Everest of opera. The legendary high F6, 2.5 octaves above middle C, strikes fear into sopranos everywhere. Mozart demands not one, but 4 stratospheric attacks in quick succession. This is not just singing, it's a supernatural force unleashed, a moment of unforgettable musical drama. Hitting a stratospheric note is only half the battle. The real artistry lies in how it's sung, fierce, powerful, and never desperate. It demands perfect technique, a rare physiological gift, and total confidence. The singer stands on a vocal cliff carrying centuries of expectation, and must deliver with supreme discipline, transforming the note into a bolt of lightning from the queen. Ultimately, this legendary high F is the ultimate musical expression of the queen's hatred. It is a sound designed by a genius to strike terror into the heart of her daughter, Pamina, and, by extension, into every single person sitting in the audience. Its extreme height gives it a piercing, inhuman quality, as if the queen is no longer a mortal woman but a demonic entity, a goddess of vengeance channeling a power from beyond the mortal realm. The note transcends language and culture. It is a universal symbol of absolute, uncontrollable rage. It is the sound of a scream that has been refined and weaponized by musical genius. The repetition of the note is what makes it so dramatically effective. The first high F is a shock. The second is a confirmation of her terrifying power. The third and fourth serve to hammer the point home, becoming a relentless assault that is both musically and emotionally overwhelming. It feels as if she is attempting to break Pamina's will with the sheer force of her voice. It is the musical equivalent of physical blows, each note a vicious strike designed to crush any hope or resistance. It is the climax of her cruelty, the final undeniable proof of her monstrous nature. For the singer who successfully conquers this passage, the moment is one of unparalleled triumph. To stand on a stage and unleash that sound with confidence and power is to join an elite and hallowed group of performers. It is a declaration of vocal supremacy. The physical sensation of producing such a note, of feeling the resonance vibrate at that frequency, combined with the emotional release of the character's fury, creates an adrenaline rush that performers describe as being unlike anything else. It is a moment where the artist, the character, and the music become one in a blaze of glory. And so, the summit is reached. The high F is not just a high note, it is the logical and necessary conclusion to the queen's psychological journey in the aria. Her rage has been building, from the swirling coloratura to the stabbing staccatos, and here it finally explodes in a shower of brilliant, terrifying sound. It is the point of no return, the moment her fury becomes so great that it can no longer be contained within the normal confines of music. Mozart knew exactly what he was doing. He was writing the sound of hell's vengeance, and he found it in the most extreme and brilliant reaches of the human voice. The legendary aria der Hölle Rache is not just an earthly marvel, it was chosen for the Voyager Golden Record, launched into the cosmos as a message for the stars. Alongside greetings, nature's sounds, and music from Bach to Chuck Berry, Edda Moser's electrifying performance now soars through interstellar space. A sound of incandescent fury, born from darkness, now shines as humanity's ambassador, art transformed into lasting beauty, echoing through the void. Edda Moser's Queen of the Night is more than flawless technique, it's pure, electrifying passion. Her voice channels raw emotion, a force so powerful it leaps from the speakers. This aria, sent on Voyager's Golden Record, is a message. Humanity feels deeply, struggles, and creates beauty from darkness. It's a timeless artifact, our fiery signature echoing through the stars. To truly understand the lineage of legends who have tackled this role, we must travel back to its very beginning, to Vienna, in 1791. The very first soprano to perform this monumental feat was none other than Mozart's own sister-in-law, Josepha Hofer. This fascinating biographical detail reveals a critical truth about the aria. It was not conceived as a generic challenge for some abstract, idealized soprano. It was a bespoke creation, meticulously tailored for a specific and extraordinary voice. Josefa Hofer was already renowned throughout Vienna for possessing a vocal instrument of remarkable agility, and most famously, an exceptionally high and easy upper register. Mozart, knowing his sister-in-law's unique talents intimately, wrote the part of the Queen of the Night specifically to showcase her strengths. He knew she could handle the punishingly high tessitura. He knew she had the vocal flexibility for the lightning-fast coloratura, and he knew with absolute certainty that she possessed the rare gift of that stunning high F. He was not writing a piece and hoping to find someone who could sing it. He was writing for a singular, phenomenal talent that he had at his immediate disposal. The aria was, from its very birth, designed to be a vehicle for a specific and legendary performer. This fact demystifies the aria's difficulty to some extent, while simultaneously enhancing its legend. It confirms that the demands of the piece are not arbitrary but were rooted in the known capabilities of a real human being. However, it also sets an incredibly high bar for every soprano who has followed. To sing the Queen of the Night is to step into the shoes of a vocalist for whom Mozart himself wrote his most famously difficult music. It means attempting to match a standard set by a singer whose unique abilities inspired one of the greatest composers in history to push the known boundaries of vocal writing. Since that premiere, a long and courageous succession of sopranos have taken up the mantle, each bringing her own unique voice, temperament, and artistry to this iconic role. Each generation has produced a handful of singers with the rare combination of skills required to even attempt it. To perform the Queen is to join a historic sisterhood, a lineage of vocal warriors who have dared to face Mozart's ultimate challenge. The role has become a rite of passage, a benchmark by which coloratura sopranos are measured, creating a fascinating history of performance that spans more than 2 centuries. From Edda Moser's iconic Spacebound recording to Diana Damrau's electrifying stage presence, the Queen of the Night has been reimagined by each generation's greatest sopranos. These legends have set new standards, proving that this aria demands not just vocal brilliance but courage and dramatic depth. Their performances ensure the Queen's fury continues to thrill and inspire audiences worldwide. Why do singers risk everything for this aria, where a single cracked note can become legend? To conquer Der Hölle Rache is to earn a crown, proof of a voice with extraordinary range, nerves of steel, and unshakable confidence. It's a rite of passage, a trial by fire and a symbol of supreme artistry. It is a crown of fire, only the most courageous dare to wear it. The genius of Der Hölle Rache is its perfect bond between technical difficulty and dramatic purpose. The coloratura passages, the stabbing staccato, and the stratospheric high notes are not just vocal feats, they are the Queen's rage, her cruelty, her terrifying power made music. Mozart captured pure fury and transformed it into art. This aria is a breathtaking spectacle, a timeless scream of rage and genius that leaves audiences stunned.
And so Der Hölle Rache remains the ultimate test of a soprano skill. A fiery gauntlet thrown down by Mozart himself. It's not just an aria. It's a declaration of rage, power, and unyielding vengeance that shakes the very foundations of opera. For those who dare to conquer its furious high notes, it is both a triumph and a torment, a voice soaring to hell and back, a legacy carved in fire and ice. Every note screams with passion and peril, echoing through the ages as the Queen of the Night's chilling demand for justice, a reminder that in the world of opera, greatness is earned through courage, stamina, and the fearless embrace of the impossible. So next time you hear those piercing F6, remember, this aria doesn't just terrify sopranos, it defines them. If you love diving deep into opera's most powerful moments, make sure to subscribe to Opera Brownn for more legendary voices, stories, and stunning performances. Join the journey. Your next great opera obsession awaits.